Hello and welcome back to Up the Villa. This is our predicted lineup for Manchester United v Aston Villa. Final predicted lineup of the season. A lot of you really enjoyed the match preview to this game. So thank you everybody for doing that. So if you are new, subscribe, smash the likes, get involved and let me know your final Aston Villa team of the season. And just like what we mentioned at the start of the season, isn't it mad how we always talk about the team that starts the first game generally always looks completely different to the team that ends the season. And in some aspects of our team, this is going to be exactly the case, really. Digne started first game, then you'd got Rodgers off the striker. He's not off the striker much anymore and stuff like that. So it's going to be interesting to see what we come up with. But I think this team, does it kind of pick itself? Possibly. But I think there's quality all over it now. So, and we've spoken about how certain areas are there for us to exploit and try and beat this Manchester United side. So we'll go into that. We'll have a look at the key areas of this game and we'll predict the lineup. Right. Is this the last time that I ever predict a lineup with Martinez in goal? Sad times. Emi Martinez in goal for Aston Villa. Hopefully, I get to put him in another Villa lineup again after this. I feel a bit sad saying this, guys. But yeah, if it is the last game that we see from him, then what a way, clean sheet to send off a player who we all love. And yeah, sad times. But we got a job to do. We can't think about that at the minute. We've got to get the job done and we've got to beat Manchester United and get into the Champions League. So there will be a time and I will do an episode on Martinez if that day happens. So don't worry. He will get a good send-off from me. But Martinez in goal. First big call is going to be left back, and I am going to go with Maatsen. For me personally, he's now my first choice left back at Villa. I love everything about what he's doing, how he's playing. This is no disrespect to Digne, who at times this season has been very, very good. But I think right now, the output from Maatsen, for me, is there. I think at times, if I want a defensive player, if I want someone a bit more defensive, then I'll go with Digne. But when I'm now starting to see this hybrid Maatsen, I'm really loving it. And I'm loving the positions that he's taking up. And I want to see him next season take up more of those positions in those areas. I want to see him take up more positions in there. I want to see him become part of that midfield. But I also like that at the minute he's doing a lot of his work in there. I think that's at the minute where I'm really liking him. Love him bombing up and down here, getting to these areas. But that's a game changer for Villa. That adds a different option and a different element to the way that we play. But seeing him in there a bit more as well will be something else that I really like. And he's capable of doing it. For Dortmund, he played in there. So that's something that I really want to see him being able to do, especially next season as this Villa side evolves. Konsa will be my right-sided centre-half. Again, he's now playing to a very, very high level. And at right back, we'll go with Matty Cash. I think those two currently pick themselves. Now, this is a position for me that I've been a bit very pow heavy in games. Like when I'm predicting lineups, I'm always very, very pow. But I actually feel like this game could be a game for Mings. Airily. I'll tell you why. Because Harry Maguire on set pieces is a massive, massive threat. whenever they play, he's such a threat at that back post. They sort of leave him at the back post. He's generally normally unmarked. He gets a header across the box or a header. So are we going to need Mings airily, or can Onana, Kamara, Watkins, Martinez, Konsa defend that box well enough? So I've aired my concerns, but I think we will go with Pau because of what he can do on the ball against this Manchester United team. Pau passing it into the lines, passing it into central midfield is going to be absolutely crucial. So Pau, he's going to play, but we have got to make sure we are spot on defensively from those set pieces. Kamara in the double pivot with Onana. I think, again, both of those are working really well, playing well. Onana's just playing so well at the minute and just doing really, really well. So, again, one more big performance from him is going to be absolutely crucial. And when I was sort of talking yesterday about the Manchester United system with the 5 at the back and being hybrid, I'll kind of show you what I mean. So if our left back goes forward, Villa can make up a back 3. And some games we might go with Cash going forward. Then that's how we make up our back 3. And that's how something can evolve and be more hybrid. Then what we'll have is that the player that generally plays off the striker drops and makes that midfield 2. So that's how your system can become hybrid, by playing a generic formation and shifting and moving players around. So, yeah, I just wanted to highlight that's how a system can be slightly hybrid. So we will look like this. So that will be how our team looks like. Matson on that side. We'll put Rodgers in there. I think it will be Rodgers on the right. Asensio. We will go with Watkins as well. Let me just find Watkins. Where's number 11? Watkins. So I have a view that we could change Asensio for McGinn, maybe, because when I show you the bigger picture in a second, you'll probably understand why. Shall I save that for in a minute? Right. Let me do the team, and then I'll go to that in a second. Right. So the left side is either McGinn or it's going to be Ramsey. So we'll go with what I think. I think we could go something like this, guys. Not going to lie. I think it could look something like this. So why I think it could look more, forget Asensio, he's on the bench, right? So what it would look like is Rodgers can come inside slightly. Cash has got width. Kamara comes and screens. And then McGinn drops slightly. And we look a bit more like that. That's something that we've been able to do and how we play. And that's how you sort of get Rodgers going more central. McGinn drops into the midfield, packs it up that way. And then our midfield looks very compact, very narrow, but very compact in the middle of the park. So why I think we need to do this, it's tactical, guys. It's not because I'm just picking a random line up here and I'm going, it's just what I want to see. So if I change that to look like this, so we'll go with this one first. So this one has Asensio in there. So we know that the Manchester United system is gonna leave Casemiro in there on his own. He's gonna be in there on his own with no protection, no cover, and their team is gonna pretty much look something similar to this. So the big hole in the team where this game's going to be won is in central midfield. So it's important for Villa to completely overload the middle of the park. And by doing that, we've got our double pivot in there anyway. So it's a 2v2 currently. It's Kamara Onana up against Casemiro Fernandez. So 2v2. When Fernandez goes walkabouts and goes into these attacking areas or drifts out here, we already have a 2v1. But where Villa can absolutely suffocate this Manchester United team essentially is when McGinn comes inside, Asensio drops into the midfield, Rodgers can then play off. And then we've overloaded it completely. So we've got 1, 2, 3. We've got around 5 players that are central. That's what we need. The option we've got is, do we need Ramsey's carrying ability just slightly so that McGinn can play off Watkins and McGinn can drop? That's the conundrum. What do I want to do? I'm not changing a winning team. I'm not changing a winning team. So I'm going to stick with what we've been doing. And if we need to bring Ramsey on or Marlon, we can do so. But that's my team. So that's where I feel like that battle's going to be. Now, I have got one concern, guys. And my concern is a fight. I know I've done a lot of talking about how crap Man United are, which is fine because they are, right? It's pretty factual. It's not an opinion. It's factual, right? We do have a bit of a problem playing against teams that play 5 at the back. That is Emery's sort of kryptonite. Is that the right one? Like kryptonite. He comes up against it and Palace, Wolves, 5 at the back. We tend to struggle. We struggle with it because, and this is sort of counter intuitive of what I've just explained, because we go quite narrow at times, we allow the width to be out here, which is a bit of a problem. So we allow green grass for these players to be able to run into. So we've got to make sure that when a player is about to ping it, so one side to another, ping it like a brute, we've got to shut them down. We've got to shut it down. We cannot allow those crossfield balls going to open green grass because we will have problems. Because Manchester United, even though they are so bad, they do commit a lot of players forward. So what's important is that we have discipline. So discipline, and we have discipline. And we generally have it anyway. Like we're good at that. And if we are going to have all the ball against Manchester United, we just need to make sure we use it and we make it count. So we've got a lot of data to look at to go off and say that Villa against a 5 at the back isn't that great. But Emery's just got to assess it, evaluate it. And we've had a whole week to prepare for this game. Manchester United will have, 3 days? So it's important for Villa that the application's there because that's what can see us through this game. Our mentality can win us this game. We've just got to bring it. We've got to own it. The reason why I put Pau in there is because he can find those little passes, can't he? Through those little lines. He can play those little line splitting passes that could go into there, that could go into those areas. And that's what we're going to need against this Manchester United team. Bypass the number 10s, bypass Bruno, bypass the striker, and get into those areas. It should be a big game for Morgan Rodgers. He should be able to find space and drive at this Manchester United team. Set pieces, we are very good at defending them. We're very good at attacking them. So all those areas are areas that I think we should be able to look to exploit and do really well against this Manchester United side. So there's all of my breakdown on Manchester United, the match preview, predicted lineup, my lineup. What I'm going to do tomorrow, we're going to go live tomorrow, and we're going to go live, and we're going to have just a feel of how you're all feeling ahead of this big game and your thoughts, etc. So we'll probably do it like midday. So midday, and we'll just have a nice little chat and discussion sort of before the big game. So yeah, cheers everyone who's been enjoying the content over this week. A lot of transfer stuff. You've all enjoyed it and build up to this big game. So thanks everyone for watching. Up the Villa.